So welcome back to the review section. So scientists have also said that people have been overestimating how much trees can actually take in from carbon dioxide by around 500%. They've also rebuked an original study saying that grasslands are great places to plant new trees. However, this is not the case at all.
Rebuke.
Rebuke.
So people like to talk about grasslands and savannas. However, these areas already curb global warming by reflecting sunlight and also sequestering carbon from within their roots. So overly aggressive plantation of new trees could thus risk devastating biodiversity for negligible carbon savings. Sequester.
Sequester.
Negligible.
Negligible. Other than forests, what are some other natural ecosystems that are definitely worth preserving?
Well, I think any areas where a lot of endangered animals kind of exist, or where it's their habitat or not, we should really focus on preserving these areas for ecosystem and just, should I say, the circle of life, to be a bit cringy, but whether that's rainforests, kind of your forest behind your house, we should try to preserve any area that exists today, because so many places are getting trampled on and we're building new apartment complexes and things like that.
I think one of the biggest ecosystems I actually quite enjoy learning about is marine life as well. Oceans and areas within the water are something I find very, very fascinating, and I think that we should also preserve that as well, as it's such a big part of the world. Though it's very hard to say that we should do something. So what are some major obstacles to solving climate change, do you think?
Big obstacle is that I think it's going to come in the form of companies having to transition from using fossil fuels to more kind of
Cleaner energy?
clean energy, greener energy. We see a few companies trying to make the transition from, cars that have diesel and produce a lot of emissions to electric cars. However, it's not just car manufacturers, it's tons and tons of companies. So they're going to have to risk going bankrupt or starting a new company, or basically transitioning completely. And I feel like a lot of big companies fear this transition and don't want to take the risk.
Right. I think that people themselves actually are big obstacles when solving climate change. I think that most people do try their best to, not litter or throw away anything, any rubbish on the ground. Some people don't. But I think most of us need to obviously step up a bit more in regards to how we use energy and what we do and how we go about that situation. However, like I said, I'm not one to point fingers, because when it's hot, I turn on the aircon.
Yeah, me too.
Or when it's cold, I turn on the heater. And I like driving, and I don't really help it. But I think one day we won't have a choice. And some people argue that we don't have a choice now, but I don't know. I'm not an expert in this field.
Right.
Anyway, that wraps up for our review section, and we'll see you on the next unit.